welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making some caramel corn. I got my popcorn and my air popper. So let's turn this into some caramel corn. 16 cups of popped popcorn. And this is a large size roasting pan. They used to be deeper than this before, but I think it'll work. I need 16 cups of this popped in here. I'm going to spray this with some cooking spray, put my popcorn in here, and then I'll meet you back here. If you don't have an air popper, you can probably get away with popping this on the stove, but I have an air popper, so that's what I'll be using. I'll see you in about 16 cups. I have 16 cups of popped popcorn, and I have I sprayed my roasting pan here with cooking spray and then put my 16 cups of popcorn in here. My oven has been preheating at 250, so you want to turn the oven on at 250 before you get started with anything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this popcorn in my oven at 250 so it can warm up and stay warm until we're ready for the caramel. All right, so now that that's in the oven, I've got a saucepan here that I will be melting a half a cup of butter, 1/2 cup of corn syrup here. I have a half a cup of corn syrup and 1 full cup of brown sugar, and it could be either light or dark brown sugar. I do have some cooking spray to spray some foil sheets out later, so when this is done, we can dump it out on some foil sheets, but that comes at the end. I have, the recipe calls for 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla, but I like to throw in a little bit extra vanilla, so this is more like 1.5 teaspoons of pure vanilla. If you don't have pure vanilla, I'm sure imitation will work just fine. I have 1/2 teaspoon of salt pre-measured out, and I have 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda pre-measured out. So first of all, I'm going to get this butter out of the package and into my saucepan here. Okay, so we have the butter. I'm going to put the brown sugar. I had to put him in the hallway. Okay, so I have my butter and my brown sugar. Turn my burner back on. And my cornstarch, 1/2 cup of cornstarch. Corn syrup, 1/2 cup of corn syrup. Spoon of salt. And we're going to let it boil for 5 minutes without stirring it. But until we get to a boil, we're going to stir it. And I'm going to use my wire whip just to kind of keep it from sticking, hopefully. And we're going to keep stirring it while we wait for it to get to a boil. And once it starts boiling, we're going to not stir it anymore and let it boil for 5 minutes. Then we will remove it from the heat and add our vanilla and our baking soda and then mix until it's well combined. So I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes. And during this part, we don't want to stir it. We just want to let it set on the burner, boil for 5 minutes. And after the 5 minutes, we will remove it from the heat, stir in the vanilla and baking soda until it's well combined, and then we will pour it over our popcorn, stir it until that's all mixed together, and then we're going to pop that back in the oven, and the popcorn will be in the oven for an hour as you stir it like once every 15 minutes. So here's what it's doing. I can put my roaster pan of popcorn here so you can get a better view when I'm pouring this caramel over the popcorn and stirring it all in. Got about 15 seconds. Okay. I think this is about as coated as I'm going to get. So I'm going to put this in the oven where it's most of the way coated. 15 minutes and then we will stir it again. All right, that was the first round. Put it back in the oven for another 15 minutes. We'll be doing this until it's been in the oven for an hour. So this is round 2 of 15 minutes. All right, so I read in the recipe that it was an hour in the oven and it's actually 45 minutes in the oven. So this will be the last 15 minutes. Set my timer here. So during that 15 minutes, I'll probably just leave it in the oven, open it up maybe half of the way through after 7 or 8 minutes, and I'll stir it while it's still in the oven, and then let it stay in there for another 8 minutes until it's completely done. So I'm going to set my counter up with some foil that's sprayed with some non-stick spray. So when it comes out of the oven, we give it one more stir and we dump it out on our foil and let it cool. Now, the popcorn isn't all the way coated, but it's coated enough for me. And I did kind of like mounded cups. I have like 4 cup measuring cup and I just used that whole 4 cup thing, but I had it kind of above the 4 cup line on all times that I filled that. So that might be another reason why it's not all the way coated, but it still looks very delicious and it smells good too. So anyways, let me get that foil ready and then we'll be dumping that out on the foil when it comes out of the oven. But I sprayed with cooking spray. All right, I'm going to let this set and cool for maybe 40 minutes or so. It may not even take that long. And then we'll come back for a taste test. This smells great, looks great, and I bet you it's going to taste great. 15 minutes, and it's cool. So we're going to try this out. Some of it's in chunks. Most of it's just like little pieces. Mmm. It's got a nice crunch to it. It's not coated all the way, but it's coated enough. It's really, really good. Mm. This would be good for anything. Halloween parties, or anytime you don't need a party for this scrumptious caramel corn. If you want the pieces to be completely coated, maybe you don't mound your measuring cup like I did, but it's still really good. This would be good with some nuts in it too if you like nuts. Maybe some candied pecans or something. Mm-mm. That's all I got for today. This is delicious. I probably won't have dinner now. This will be dinner. Oh, it's really good. So I'll put the measurements to all the ingredients in the description box below in case I missed out, just forgot to tell you something. But no, this is really good. Easy to make, just very few ingredients. I did have to go buy the corn syrup because I didn't have any, but it's really good. And it makes quite a bit for one little recipe full. Anyway, I'm going to get this edited and posted for you guys so you can make yourself some scrumptious caramel corn. All right, and until next time, I'll see you back here on Survive with What You Know. Goodbye.